Happy New Year 2021. This is your one and only friend, Dr. Susan Gitau. I would like to say I am so grateful to God for this wonderful opportunity to see a new year. It has been a very tough year for everybody in the whole world. Even when we know there are some people, when a tragedy strikes, they see opportunities. But in a world where we are human beings and think about one another as human beings, it has not been easy for the whole of mankind in the past year, 2020. But we are all full of hope in this year, 2021. And because I am in Kenya, my country, Kenya, it's quite rare to see the rains, but we had rains on 30th and last night. And as Africans, we consider water as a sign of life, a sign of hope, a sign of productivity. And so I want to share with you this message of hope, because we need to be hopeful. We need to see the bright side of everything. I know 2020, as Kenyans, we have lost lives, we have lost friends, we have lost jobs, we have lost opportunities to socially connect with one another. We have lost opportunities to give love to those that we used to give because of social distancing and lockdowns. We missed very many opportunities to do the best that God called us to do on earth. However, it is always good to look at the bright side of life. And it's always good to know every year that turns over, there's always a new beginning. So what is your new beginning? Sometimes we think the new beginning is all about money. It's not about money. We think it's about getting big opportunities. It's not really about getting big opportunities. We think it's about probably getting married, getting children. Those are human desires. But the main question I would like you to answer to yourself, not to me, do you know who you are? Most of the times when people are asked, who are you? Sometimes they say their names. I'm Susan Gitau. I'm a lecturer. I'm a counseling psychologist. And we think that's enough. Sometimes you're asked, where do you come from? Or where did you come from? And people tend to answer, probably even their country of origin, their ethnicity, and they think they have it all. And so this year, I would like you to really think more of who are you, where are you coming from, or where did you come from? So let us not forget 2020. I know in this country we see a lot of betrayals, and especially led by our political leaders. I am not afraid and ashamed to say that. We see a lot of betrayal, they do it live and we see it. So if we don't know who we are, what is your identity? Is it shaped by the leadership that you see in your country? If that leadership is faulty, do you still stay with that identity? If in your family of origin, the identity they gave you was faulty, do you still stay with it? Do you still stay with it? And so this 2021, I want to encourage you to exactly redefine who you are, where you're coming from. So never forget your past, but do not allow your past to determine your present. So we will not allow, if you join me, 2020, the year of overwhelming sadness, the year we saw very many relationships break up, the year we saw very many people developing mental illness, the year we saw cultural shock because the people that the first patients of COVID-19 in a country like Kenya, where we value culture so much, the way those people are buried, and we've been seeing the relief of the same, and that is trauma for real. So you cannot say you don't forget what we saw. The scandals we have seen in our country, scandals that have really touched on money that was supposed probably to help the needy people. You cannot ignore you saw that. You cannot ignore you witnessed that. Families breaking up because there is not enough money. Somebody has lost a job. Some people also having very many expectations, high expectations, maybe on you, and you could not meet all the expectations. Probably you overworked, because when some people are laid off, some people had to do double or triple work. And maybe that didn't come down very well on you, your health, and your relationships. There was also lots of betrayals. I don't know whether you were betrayed. I don't know whether you betrayed somebody. And so many scandals. I do not know whether you are scandalized or you scandalized somebody. But very important to remember, for those who are joining us right now, who are you? What shapes your identity? And each one of us are wired differently, including the identical twins. Do you really know who you are? Can you answer that? And this one doesn't have to do, that has nothing to do with the number of degrees that you have. No. Are you aware of who you are? Can you define to people that if you stand in front of them, can you tell them who is Gregory, who is Alice Benson, who is Mercy Gitau, who is Cecilia Ochoa, who is Susan Gitau? Can people see you and know you as a very unique person? Because that is how God created you. Where are you coming from? It doesn't necessarily have to be your ethnicity. It doesn't have to be your family of origin. It could be your experiences that you have encountered in life. Because at some point, you will leave home if you haven't left home. At some point, you will leave friends if you haven't left them. At some point, your children will leave you if they haven't left you. At some point, you will leave that job, maybe on retirement, or you'll be sacked. What do those experiences in your past life taught you? What did they teach you? What did you learn from that? Has it contributed to the story of who you are? Even the betrayals, if you went through them. Mistrust, if you went through them. Mistakes you made, if you did. And we all do make mistakes. Do they contribute to defining who you are? So where you're coming from is also very important. But do not allow where you're coming from to dilute the blessings of the present moment. So how many of us live in the past? Past of mistakes we made, and we all make mistakes. You hurt somebody, you betrayed somebody, you mistreated somebody, you misinterpreted things, you misconceived things. You also made maybe the wrong choice of a career, the wrong choice of a relationship, the wrong choice of investment, especially those people who panic, and because they have money, they want to put it anywhere, and it all goes into a big hole. Maybe your family of origin, where you are with your siblings, where you are with your cousins, with your aunties. Maybe there is a lot of harm you did to each other, or they did to you. How should that past help you live today and celebrate today? Is it gonna be okay? Is it gonna be good? Are you going to enjoy? If you carry on bitterness, if you carry on resentments, if you carry on those feelings of failure, if you carry on people, how much strength do you really have to carry people? Even our leaders, our political leaders, they are human. And I believe Kenya one day will change. When all of us, especially our leaders, will define exactly who they are and where they're coming from. If they have forgotten, this is a country that we earned with our ancestors' blood. If they have forgotten that once you die, you will leave everything you have acquired. Even when you want more and more and more and more, you will leave. And you will go with nothing. I remember when I was doing my master's at Daystar University in the year 2003, 2006, I did a research with morgue workers, and I was looking at their state of mind. And I discovered that time the truth about life and death. For the first time in my life, I saw everything we acquire, the number of degrees, the number of cars, the number of houses. They are vanities of vanities. And that should humble each and every one of us in the whole world. That should make you a more compassionate person. And by compassion, I don't mean you become a victim. And by sharing compassion, I don't think you see other people as victims, but you acknowledge the present moment. If the world is crying, if the nation is crying, if there are people in your midst that are crying, and you have seen it and you have known, don't keep quiet. If there is something you can do a little bit more, do it. Gregory, because I can see you online, I'm very happy because of where you're coming from. At least I know you, I know your story. And I'm very happy since COVID-19 hit Kenya in the last year, because it's last year, 2020. We are in a new year, 2021. You've done a lot of work online. You've done a lot of work with the civil servants. You've done a lot of work in the church, in the families. But if you relate very well, could it be because you already know who you are? Could it be because you know where you're coming from? Don't forget. I know very many people ask me questions, tough questions. Are you the only one who was brought up in the slums of Kiandutu, the biggest slum village in Kiambu County, Kenya? Of course, I'm not the only one. Actually, I don't have the kind of money that some people have that we grew up with together there. But I don't want to forget a past for a reason I know so well. That the people that leave a legacy in this world are not people who lived for themselves. They are not people who acquired wealth for themselves. How I pray our political leaders would have this revelation. Because I know most of the time when they are not doing politics, they are very lonely, they are very empty. But you who does something to make somebody else smile, you don't have moments of sadness. You don't have moments of regret. Because you know you didn't come here for yourself. You came here to make this world a better place. And this world can never be a better place when your brother is crying, when your sister is crying, when your brother is hungry, your sister is hungry. It can't be. When there are no drugs in hospitals because somebody saw it's better to steal those drugs and sell them and make money. When money meant for children, we are opening schools right now. Some people got money maybe to make desks, to do renovations. And I really admire what I'm seeing in Rwanda. Because they exactly know what they want and they go ahead and do it. Leaders are accountable. They are accountable to the people that voted in. For us, I don't know. Our leaders accountable to us? No. We don't even have those barazas where you can call your MCA and ask them, you promised ABCD, how far have you gone? Why is this and this not done? Who do they account themselves to? How I pray that my country would change in the way we do leadership. How I pray that every leader would dream of what we call transformational leadership. Because servant leadership has also been abused so much. Transformational leadership is what we need. Where I can transform me, but I cannot transform what I don't know. I need to first know who I am. What defines me? Is it money that defines me? Is it friends that define me? Is it a career that define who I am? It's about the values you hold so dear, close to your heart. It's about the essence of who you are. It's about the sense you make about life. It's about living this moment that is so short, by the way. Those ancestors we read about, we talk about, the legends we read about, talk about, who died many years ago. When we remember them, many years ago, they have lived longer in their graves than they lived when they were alive, when they were breathing like you and I. So what should worry you more is how we shall remember you after you die. If you are in any leadership, how we are going to remember you after your leadership legacy. Are we going to say how miserable we became because of you? Are we going to say how very many people suffered because of you? And when I talk about leadership, I'm also talking about the leadership of the family. And I will hail any man here who is present here if you take leadership of your family, because it's naturally designed. It is godly for those who believe that there is a God in heaven. So when men don't take their positions of leadership in the family and you blame women for doing that, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I like to say, think of the great nations in this world. Think of China, which we can say is a leading economy. China knew very well, if we allow drugs and alcohol or substances of abuse that are addictive to reign in their nation, then they would not go anywhere. That's why I'm talking about leadership. Where are our men? What has killed the ability to lead amongst men? You can stand here and confidently say, I am sane, I am stable, I am healthy, I make sober decisions, if they are not driven by any substance of abuse. And we know what happens. And we know in this country of ours, where a lot of drug addiction happens, you don't see development. Honestly, you don't see development. Even when you hear bangi, marijuana is legalized in some countries in this world, go and see the kind of marijuana they take. It's just like the coffee we take in Kenya. The coffee you'll take outside that came from your country is not the same. The cigarette you smoke in Kenya is not the same cigarette you can smoke in the UK or in Australia. No. We take the residues of everything. I pray for Africa. I pray for you, friend. I pray for me. Because I know Africans are great. I know Kenyans are great. When I think about massive corruption in this nation, my heart bleeds. Because I know where we would be as a country. We would not even see some of the states here in Africa. But what kills us? Because we don't know who we are. We have forgotten where we're coming from. And we don't have a clear pathway of where we are going. And any nation, any individual, any family, any church, any institution, any company that doesn't have a clear vision is as good as dead. And some of it, we may have a very good vision. We write it down, but it exists on paper. It exists in our minds. And so that vision must be written very, very clearly. The Bible says, write it on a board. And I would tell you, write it. If it's in a notebook, it's in your diary, write it. Go through it. See how practical it can be. That is why people make resolutions, many, a list of them, 20, 50. And by the end of the year, none is accomplished. Because they never commit that. In writing, and they do not even clarify those resolutions, those visions. But it has to be written somewhere. It has to be written somewhere. I remember in 2016, and I'm going to train people in vision board writing. 2016, I did this vision board, and I did it in the USA. I did it, you know, and I left a small space here, and this small space, I guess, is what I'm going to fill this year. But there's nothing I have written here that has not come to pass, apart from one that I believe is coming to pass very soon. Because we are created in the image and likeness of God. That means we have that power within us. But how many people discover that? Look at the most successful people in the world. It is not about the number of books they have read. It's not about it's not about the number of colleges they have attended. And Gregory, it's because I want to encourage you and many other people here. Veronica, I want to encourage you, right? It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about knowing who you are, where you're coming from, where you want to go. That is your vision. That could be your resolutions. That could be your goals that you want to achieve. But they must be written somewhere. Because if today I say, Susan, you are the way you are because of the degree you had in education, commerce, and economics, I'll be lying. If I say it's because of the masters that you did, even the discovery that I did, it was not anything I was taught in class about life and death. It is not about the things I dreamt of and I never followed through because they never came to pass, because I never followed them through. It's about the discovery of who you are and why you're here. Because very many people, when you ask them, what is your purpose in life? What is your purpose? And somebody just goes, you know, I think I'm here, I'm there. What? You need to be clear. And that's why I said, write it down. Start writing it down and clear. All of us should actually leave a book behind for people to read about us. But that is only when you know who you are. And that is why you can never be an average person. The minute you know who you are, the minute you know, understand where you're coming from, the minute you know why you're here, the minute you know where you're going and how you will go there, that's why I say write it down, so that the next thing you ask yourself, how do I get there? How do I get there? And finally, as I come to a close, who will go with you to your destiny? I'm talking about an inner circle. Don't feel guilty if you have to let go of relationships that don't align to your vision. Kindly, don't be guilty. Don't be afraid. The Christians that could be right here in this audience, you know, when we are told, if your eye makes you sin, and probably might make you never experience eternal life, pluck it out. So who is in your inner circle? And I don't want you to think when I tell you leave them, set them aside. I'm not sending you to be rude. I'm not sending you to be unkind. But I'm sending you to cover yourself. Because you could be having people around you. They are dream killers. They are vision destroyers. And I'm not sending you to destroy anyone's dream or vision. Don't. Because there's a God in heaven that sees. And when somebody makes it in life, they have a new beginning. They have something better they are doing for themselves. At least you know they cannot disturb you. Even your family members, your relatives, your colleagues, if they are doing better, they can't beg from you. And that's where our leaders go wrong. If everybody in this country could take care of themselves, they don't have to hide. They would be living very normal lives. But because it's a country where we always begging, it's a country where the haves and the have-nots have a very big gap. There will always be insecurity. There will always be suspicion, mistrust. In this country, it's very sad that our children are telling us there's no point of going to school. Why do I have to go to school? Why? If so and so that I know never went to school, and I don't know how they are cleared. Becomes a politician and has a lot of money. They steal. They are covered. They have a lot of money. I want to tell you today, it's not about the money. You can walk and you're a very happy person. You can ride a bicycle. You could be a very happy person. So don't look at your life from a material point of view. And I'm not telling you will not be blessed. Honestly and surely, from where I sit, you will be blessed with everything if you just live, one, in the truth, second, in a realistic way, and third, don't compare yourself with anyone. Be your own benchmark. If Susan, tomorrow I do better, it's because I'm improving Susan. If Susan, tomorrow I touch more lives, it's because I'm improving in one way or the other. So don't compare yourself with anyone, because God never created you to compare yourself with other people. He created you so uniquely as you. And that is why you cannot maliciously destroy somebody else. You cannot kill their dreams. And because I am a believer, if you're Christians here, go and read the book of James 4 and verse 2. James 4:2. And you will see that people desire things that they cannot have, so they will kill. So if you see me blessed in my own way, search for your blessing, search for your gift. You have it. Only because you don't know who you are. Only because you don't know where you're coming from. You don't know your purpose. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how to go there. And you don't know who to go with there. And that is why if they all go, if they all leave you, you have the one that created you, the most powerful, that created everything with design. So James 4:2 tells you, we covet things also. Like I see you with a good car, I covet it. But I can't have it. Why? Because I'm busy saying they must have stolen, they must have done this. I'm busy thinking about your life other than thinking about my life. I should be working hard to achieve my vision. I should be working hard to achieve my dream. It's not about other people. And so I will be caught creating fights, conflicts, and all that. Haven't you seen that? In families, haven't you seen that? In leadership, in the corporate world, learning institutions. I feel sad, and I'm very happy, Veronica Kaluyu, you're here, because you've seen very many students get out of universities, make a life, make difference in the area of careers that they chose. Sad that you can kill somebody else's dream. You can kill somebody else's vision. Or somebody has killed your dream. Somebody is busy killing your vision. Just know who you are with, who you're working with. And if they all go back to your Creator. God has everything. Your Creator has everything that you need. In the same book of James 4:2, the last line ends, you do not have because you don't ask. But God will not give you things that will help you destroy other people. And even the biggest, the most successful business people, whether they believe in God or not, they think of solving a problem that exists in the society. So even our learning institution, Veronica, and the others that are here, we need to start helping them to solve problems in the society. If you want to see better days, where the vaccine was found, we do have our Cambridge here. We have great researchers. We have great scientists. But majority of them, you'll be shocked, they don't live in Kenya because we could not pay them well. We could not give them a conducive environment. When they come up with innovations and all that, we kill them. And we kill them because we have some desires that are not clearly defined. Yet, what you are lacking, you don't have because you haven't asked. There's no way I can come, sit next to you, and I'm hungry, and I don't tell you, because you wouldn't know I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, I tell you kindly, there's something you can share with me. I have told you, I have asked, but you can't just go giving. So God is also a God of purpose. Is a God of clarity. Ask clearly. Ask to make a difference, and you will surely be given. And last but not least, be a person of compassion. The world is lacking in compassion completely. And compassion means see suffering, notice suffering, and do something about that suffering. Because there's something you have within you that can alleviate that suffering. And anytime you make a mistake in this new year, 2021, treat yourself with the same compassion you would treat a dear friend, a dear sister, a dear brother, a dear auntie, a dear colleague. Treat yourself with that level of kindness. Don't damage yourself for mistakes you've done, for errors you have made, people you have hurt. It's a new year. Treat yourself with a new level of kindness. Treat yourself with what we call mindful self-compassion. You don't run away from your pain. You don't run away from your sin. Don't run away from your mistakes. Own them. And say, I recognize this is a moment of suffering. And I pray and I wish myself freedom from suffering, freedom from all forms of pain, freedom from bondage. I wish myself peace. I wish myself happiness. I wish my friend, I wish my colleague, I wish my children, I wish my husband, I wish my wife, I wish whoever you'd want to wish compassion. You wish them freedom, happiness, peace, all the good things. And let me tell you, those of us who are in high school, whatever you give to the world comes back to you in equal measure. So if you give compassion, it will hit back. If you give blessings, they will hit back. And now you can hear the rain. May God bless you. May God keep you whole, healthy, and very optimistic and positive about life. May you be compassionate. May you remember who you are. May you remember where you're coming from. May you remember why you're here. May you remember where you want to go. May you remember how you want to go there. May you remember who you want to go there with. God bless you. This is Dr. Susan Gitau. You can always follow me on my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube. Make this happen every now and then. And on Facebook, kindly, if you want to talk to me, go to the messenger if you have something very personal. And you can also follow me on Susan Gitau Counseling Foundation page and see what you and I can do together. And even if you have nothing to give people materially, give them compassion, and God is gonna bless you mightily. Happy 2021, prosperous 2021, full of blessings and full of awareness of who you are. God bless you, and I love you all. Asante sana for keeping me company. Thank you.